Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the part 8 of the Deep Dive, a critical analysis stream where we talk about the very in-depth, all of the things when it comes to any particular video game. We're starting here with Final Fantasy XIII, specifically because I have a lot of personal opinions about this, but now that we're fast approaching the end of Final Fantasy XIII, we'll be addressing other games that I also have strong opinions of, because we need more in-depth analysis is what the world of video games needs. Not just hot takes, not just is it fun, but what is it doing? What is it doing well? What's it doing poorly? And why is this feature in this game to begin with? So, as you can see, we're pretty deep into the game of Final Fantasy XIII here. We've already passed the midway point where it's just told out that, you know, you have to destroy Cocoon. Everything's going to... one of you is going to have to turn into the evil destruction machine Ragnarok and destroy everything about your known world. And I did not know that this particular scene was right out of the gates, so... yeah, we are right into the culmination of the middle of the game.
Oh, easy, guys. It's all right.
It's all right, we know that guy.
Officer. He's been helping us out.
Nope, not this time.
Reigns, you traitor!
Oh, Lightning has the right idea. Of course, he's able to just block her sword with his hand. How can he do that?
I put you on the path. That was my focus.
What? You're a C?
Since long before
What a
we
twist.
met. I did my best to assist you, as bid by the Sanctum Fal'Cie. Now do you understand?
Everyone's got secrets.
The Fal'Cie have
Hold on, I'm
watched
gonna
over
adjust the mic.
you, guiding your every step.
Everyone's revealing that they've been secretly working for someone else.
Time and again was a deliberate machination. Why, you may ask? The Primarch, or should I say, Bartandalus, is crafting you into the instruments of Cocoon's demise.
We've been played for fools.
A Cocoon Fal'Cie? Why?
Why? To restore the Maker.
The Maker?
The entity responsible for creating both humans and Fal'Cie.
In case you were wondering, Final Fantasy has a long history of making the games about the destruction of organized religion and fighting God.
Leaving the two races behind.
And now a flashback to that one scene
Human and Fal'Cie
that was,
are brothers,
I don't know,
orphaned
2 hours ago game-wise? Orphaned by the same parent. That's why the Cocoon Fal'Cie is called Orphan.
As for the human,
That's just naming.
they forgot the order imposed by the Maker. They began to war amongst themselves for the first time in history.
On this episode of Fantasy Gods Telling, humans are terrible and they always kill each
Turning
other.
the world to its former glory. This purpose lies at the heart of all their actions.
And only these strange Fal'Cie are the ones that will lead people onto the right path.
Requires a fitting sacrifice.
Yeah, we've heard. The destruction of Cocoon.
The lives of this world's entire populace in bloody tribute.
No.
Now that was a cool shot.
I don't get it. Why do they need us? Couldn't the Fal'Cie end Cocoon with just a thought?
Their existence is bound to the creation and maintenance of this floating shell. It is their very nature that holds them in check.
You mean Cocoon Fal'Cie can't destroy Cocoon? They needed tools.
If we can stop this by doing nothing... we'll do nothing.
No, that's not gonna work, Vanille.
I expected as much.
You lied to us. What happened to your dream of rebuilding Cocoon for the people?
I mean, it has to be destroyed to be rebuilt, man. That's still technically true.
From when I was human. It was change I craved. And once I'd built the influence to make things happen, there was change. I gained all the power I could hope for, but was a puppet with no will to wield it. It wasn't the fal'Cie who changed. It was me.
You were made a l'Cie?
A l'Cie, tied to an inescapable focus. A slave of destiny.
Theming.
I'd lost hope. I'd all but given up on dreams of freedom.
What are you saying?
I'm here of my own accord, not by fal'Cie order. Seeing you fight brought it all back. Brought back that future I once strove for. I, too, will challenge my fate.
So, this is important for establishing that challenging your fate is the main part of this game. In case there was any doubt about that. This is...
If I can defeat you here, the fal'Cie plan will fail.
Reigns!
I will use all my remaining power.
So yeah, this is making explicit that which was beforehand
I will set you free!
mostly implied, only a little bit stated. And this is the thing that happens to really drive home the fact that the point of this game is to fight against the fate that you've been given. Ooh, offensive shift. I don't like the sound of that. Yeah, there we go. Beat up on her. She doesn't need the HP. Okay, can I switch to this? Target roll. Oh yeah, that hurts a lot. Aha! Fang's all the way over there. Oh, defensive shift. Perfect time for this. Yeah, got all you want. It's not going to save you from any of this. So yeah, Reigns, what is he essentially doing is what the main cast here is also doing, is decided that following your focus and being a pawn in the fal'Cie is not exactly what you want to do. You have your own goals, and even if though it has a lot of risk to it, you're gonna do it anyways. Oh boy. It's really hard to stagger this guy, but that slow is real good. Alright, while he's distracted, bang. Take him out. Ooh, deep protect. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Oh, defensive shift. Didn't see that. Come on, stagger. Not happening. Oh boy. What else do we got from here? Susceptible to slow. Sure is. So yeah, this is one of our first real tough bosses, but luckily he tells you what kind of things he's about to perform. And so there's no doubt about how to actually deal with him. Yeah, there's Runga, and then he switches to this. There we go. There we go. Here comes the stagger. Come on. There we go. Beat him up, Fang. Oh, he can't get launched when he's guarding. Well, that's just unfortunate. Come on. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Well, that sure hurt.
Thanks.
No, thank you. Oh boy. We're not gonna get a good end to that stagger. Alright, stage 1 of the fight is complete. Please continue dispelling him. Oh, he so needs to get slowed. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Heal! Okay, I guess we're curing his status effects now. Please stop being a Fang. I would really appreciate that. Oh, I hit Q too many times. Okay. Alright, let's turn it around. Ah, you're not gonna get any debuffs. Oh, poison! Perfect. The only one you need. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ah, that's not fair! I just dispelled all those from you. Vanille doesn't even have her 4th Saboteur slot. Ooh, slow. Perfect. Well done, Fang. At least now we can build up that gauge. Ooh, curse. He's getting stunned. Ow. Painful. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Oh, you're continuing to attack me. That's not what I like to see. Perfect. We can actually hurt him when he's not guarding. Ah. What a pain.
Thanks.
No, please no. Oh, that hurts so much. Quickly. Oh, well, yeah, that's bound to happen. There we go. Problem solved. Now, stop bugging us.
Follow my lead.
Oh, we lost that slow. Come on, stagger. Why you gotta be like that? All I want is to defeat you with little effort. And you're just making... Ah, more of that? Come on. That's just rude. I go through all this effort to get the debuffs on you, and you just do this. At this point, I might as well just only do the slows. And this is why it's important to have saboteurs in your party. For this specifically. Oh boy. Yeah, attack Fang. No. Oh, we actually resisted a lot of those status effects. That's good. I'm not afraid of you. Ooh, that's good. Good. Whoops, this is gonna hurt. Nope, I didn't get a Suna. I need for me to not die. So rude. this is gonna hurt. There we go. Let's put an end to this. Keep the spells coming. Oh no, we lost her again. Really expensive keeping these Phoenix Downs coming. One, two, three. Alright, that's good enough. Ah, this guard means he doesn't take any damage though. Ah. Nope, didn't get that. Oh, and this is gonna hurt. Wrecked. Okay. So unfortunately, he can't get very good staggers on him when he's acting like this. Oh boy. Alright. Come on, Fang, you can help with the dispelling too. Oh, this is... They definitely make this a hard fight, which is important for what is essentially a... Ooh, didn't die this time. It's essential for how important the fight is for storyline reasons. You want your important fights to feel important. That's what's most important. Oh, this Fang is in... Oh, Fang got dazed. Ooh, just in time. Okay. This is why the paradigm switching is important, because the bosses tend to, in this game, follow a similar concept where they change what they're doing paradigm-wise constantly, and allows you to switch in order to match the situation. And I think that's just part of good boss design, that they took basically the same limitation that players have and gave that to bosses as well. Oh boy, nope. Okay, back to the dispel, Mansing. Apparently he just wipes that poison effect from him, which is the only thing that's really been dealing damage to him. Ooh, nice, got that slow off. Perfect. Protect us, Fang! Oh, that's hurt. That's gonna hurt. Ow. Ow. It's not fair when they juggle me. I mean, it feels perfectly fair when I juggle them, but them juggling me? Unfair. Eat this. Now we gotta do this crap again. Well, hey, we barely got affected by it that time. That's painful. But, no, don't mash Isuna. Aha! Take that. Interrupt your Isunas. Dick. And there we go. How poorly did we do? Oh, basically right on target time, which means we did poorly. Not gonna lie, they put those target times to be how they expect you to do if you're playing it safe. So clearly they could have done better. How specifically, who knows. But Reigns' plan to kill us and therefore defy the will of the fal'Cie just failed because we're the protagonists here. Only we get to decide whether or not we follow it.
Isn't it? The only thing I wanted was a moment of triumph.
That's not exactly a small ask, Rain.
Isn't important. Just do what you know is right. Trust yourselves.
Yes, you're the controllers of your own fate. Don't forget that. Because in the end, even Reigns kind of decided to do what he wanted to do, not what he was told to do. Still counted as fulfilling his focus, though.
What? Did he complete his focus?
I don't think so. All Reigns did was try to save Cocoon in his own way.
Here comes Snow to over-rationalize. Slash under-rationalize. Rationalize why he should continue listening to his preconceived notions. Luckily, his preconceived notions aren't the worst thing in the world.
I think Reigns was searching for a way to make us understand. To understand the frustration of being a l'Cie bound to a focus.
And now to drive the point home, in case you missed it,
what it meant to be human.
Vanille's narration. And so that's the third person we've seen turn into crystal, following the third different set of rules around that crystallization. We had Sarah, who just kind of turned into crystal. We had Dodge, who turned into crystal, but was still like only more encased by crystal rather than turning to crystal. And Reigns, who turned to crystal and then immediately evaporated into nothingness. They are massively inconsistent in what the crystallization process means when it comes to l'Cie. And perhaps it's a result of the different fal'Cie giving them the quests, because I can't imagine that that's a result of oversight. Do I have access to one-man army yet? No, I don't. That's a shame. I need those limit breaks because that's a really important thing to bring up when we get there. I don't really know what to call them. I usually call them limit breaks because they're character-specific, situational, take all your ATB kind of actions. But each character has their own. And they're all really good when used properly. So yeah, okay, now we get some unavoidable combats. Going straight from a boss to random encounters. Oh, actually, we should just blitz. No quarter. Come on, switch faster. There we go. They're weak to Blizzard. The auto chain function is good in those contexts for seeing at a glance what things are weak to. Because sometimes, especially later in the game, when you want to get actions out as quickly as possible, you want to do that first thing with the auto chain just so that it happens immediately rather than waiting, especially for monsters like that, which are really well designed. I really like the design of bombs there where you have to keep their HP low because if their HP ever reaches 100%, they explode and it's a really bad scenario for you. And so they make it so they start the fight with half HP, and every time they use an AoE magic ability, they also heal themselves with it, and so if you ignore them or fight them too slowly, they explode, and it's really, really painful for you. Usually game over painful, especially if more than one of them explodes. And one of the ways that it makes it even more tough is that when they explode, they usually deal the same elemental damage that heals them, so nearby bombs, if they weren't at 100%, they are now, and they're going to explode. We're probably going to want this. Quick, kill these things, because they're super dangerous. Wait, how did Fang lose that poison effect? That's weird. Oh, it was just a short-term poison effect. Come on, keep staggering. There we go. And done. This is a combination of both live action and turn-based Selena. First of all, the gay characters are Fang and Vanille. They're the two in the party that are not lightning. And yeah, the combat is... It follows the Final Fantasy VII case of active time battles, where it's technically turn-based, but a little bit of appearance of being live action because the clock is constantly ticking and there's no waiting around, and so everything is happening all at once. Oh, this is going to be a bad fight. And so yes, the unofficially... Oh boy, what am I doing? It's pretty clear from context that Fang and Vanille are a couple, though the game doesn't explicitly say so. In the last episode, we got to a point where they had met after being separated for a few days, and them being reunited was quite possibly stereotypical, like two distant lovers being reunited for the first time. And although the game never actually goes out and saying it, any looking into the subtext should give you that reading if you're actually paying attention. And so yeah, it seems with these battles they've taken us back into these monsters fighting each other. Just to remind you that sometimes fights are easy if it's not 7 against 3. Oh boy. And done. And so we're approaching the huge turning point of the game. I think it is actually like imminently ahead here, where we shift from the mostly linear internal world of Cocoon, where the characters have basically accepted the idea that they don't get to make their own choices, to the following Rain's advice that you actually get to decide what you do with your life. Even if the semi-gods are telling you have to do this, you don't actually have to do that. And so the game is about to shift in everything, really, in order to account for that shift in theming. Bang is equally unimpressed, because it turns out you can just not engage with these fights. Because farming is not exactly my favorite thing to do. And you don't actually need to do it to succeed in this game. You haven't needed to do that. You haven't needed to farm to succeed in a JRPG probably since the Super Nintendo era. Because it was around that time when they realized that are we gonna fight? Nah, I'm just gonna let them duke it out. It was around that time that game creators started to realize that that you want to make your fights balanced such that they're accomplishable based on the expected power level of the characters. And yes, Selena, those were kind of D20s. Those are this game's equivalent of the bombs. Oh yeah, here we go. You can get a good look at what these are like. These things start at half-life, and every time they'd use an ability, they heal themselves and hurt everyone around them. If they ever get to full HP, they explode and really, really wreck everyone around them. So we're not going to let that happen. Oh, there's a lot of them. It's a lot harder to keep their HP down when there's, 4 of them. But it looks like we did pretty well here. Still only getting 4 stars. Apparently I'm not very good at this game. Because one thing about the target times is I can't even blame it on being underleveled, because the target time is scaled based on your character's stats. And it's basically an estimate, and the algorithm behind it is probably pretty interesting. Oh, is this a bonus fight? Yep. We stumbled across a bonus room. The algorithm that determines what a target time is for a particular fight has got to be interesting, because it's definitely based on not just you're just starting out forging that blade. That's going to be rough. Weak to lightning. Because it doesn't just account for how much damage you're able to put out. It also makes estimates on how much you'll spend healing and how much time, how effectively you're going to be able to deal with the boss's attacks, essentially. Because all of that factors in when it comes to how long it's going to actually take you to defeat a combat. Get staggered. Wait a second. Was that 2? Is there another one around? Oh yeah, his blade becomes its own thing. Oh, I forgot about how this enemy works. Can't be provoked. That's bad. It seems to be beating up Vanille. Yes, please continue to stagger that thing. Oh boy. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fine. It'll be dead before we know it. And we're done. Don't even have to kill that blade. So that was... See, that's a little bit of disappointment in that room, is that that wasn't a unique boss. That's not exactly a random encounter that we've been fighting, but we saw a room full of them a little bit earlier that I killed one of them and then avoided the rest of them. And so it would have been much more effective if that, you know, room that closed down as soon as you entered threw in an optional boss. Especially since the game has no risk game overs, you get to retry immediately if you fail. That's a good example of where you have an opportunity to put in additional challenges for those looking for them that are, you know, completely optional for those who aren't. Instead, we got just another instance of the same enemy we had fought earlier before, so that was a bit of a letdown. Oh no! A bunch of enemies. Can I avoid them? Nope. Ah, I hate these guys. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad. Okay. Oh, that hurts. Oh, don't die. Oh, this is bad. I already hate this. Oh, don't need... Oh, I have Raise. Why was I using Phoenix Downs? I forgot. Get out of here. Come on, just gotta kill that one. Okay. Alright, here we go. I think it's telling that I constantly refer to enemies as I don't like those ones, because they do a good job of making each, oh, don't die. Oh, don't die. Of making each enemy a credible threat. And so there's no such thing as a boring enemy to fight, but there are a lot of enemies that are frustrating to fight, because all of them have their own challenges and associated with them. Which is more than you can say about most other JRPGs, except for maybe the Shin Megami Tensei series, is that a lot of individual fights tend to be mostly just, here's an enemy who you don't know their weakness is, figure it out and it gets slightly easier. In these ones, they have a lot more teamwork and synergy associated with them, and knowing specifically how to beat a random encounter really helps you get through it in the sense that not knowing how to defeat a random encounter will often mean you lose and everyone dies and you have to retry. The amount of times that you die to random encounters in, you know, Tales of Symphonia or Final Fantasy VII, like, you just don't fight random encounters that absolutely stomp your party. But in this game it happens quite frequently. In games like the Persona series, it happens quite frequently that you encounter new enemies and they work in such a way that if you're not ready for it, they are gonna overpower you, and quickly. The difference between this and Persona is that in Persona, game overs are for real game overs. There's no recovering from it. Whereas this game takes a lot more of a forgiving approach, whereas if you lose, you get to try again. And that gives the games very different feels. And as I was talking... Oh, wait, no. And as I was talking about in an earlier episode, the fact that that the random encounters can kill you and will cause you to... Oh, I'm dead. See, I wasn't careful and died immediately. Persona games are structured specifically for tough random encounters in that they are about, the dungeon crawling things are about short and measured jumps into a dungeon, going as deep as you can without overstretching yourself, without going too far that you die and then have to start all over again. Okay, we're gonna have to... we have to do this the slow way.
I'll deal with you.
Please stop beating up on Vanille. That'd be a big help. You're continuing to beat up on Vanille, and I'm not appreciating it. Okay. Have it your way. Oh god, you immediately started beating me up. I don't want to cast Thundera. The sorting of the menu is a little bit weird until you get all of the AoE abilities. Ow. Okay. You know what? Screw debuffing. Let's just take him out. And away you go. And so, yeah, you get the advantage of rough random encounters that it forces you to actually use the combat system to your advantage in all aspects, and not just when you fight bosses. And allows them to make harder boss fights, allows them to make harder everything, and so that you get to actually learn the system that you're playing in, rather than just mashing one easy thing that gets things by. That being said, full timing Commando Sentinel Medic will get you by pretty much every encounter that you come across. It's just going to take you a long time, and oh boy. Please protect us, Fang. Oh, well, that's bad. Save me. Thank you. No, don't do that. Cease doing that. And bye. Okay. Ah, that hurts so much. Poison's not a huge help here, and that's painful. Pleased to be ceasing all of this pain that you're sending my way. I'd really prefer it if you didn't. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, you continue to be annoying here. Okay. Yeah, now that they're staggered, we get to take him out. Up you go. Alright. It's just you and me. Oh good, Fang missed the power chain. That's what I like to see. Ow, ow. Please stop. Please stop. Wrecked. And we're done. Oh, we didn't. We're not done. There we go. Still no good. Oh man. Alright, I don't want to deal with you. Nope. No thank you. Ah! At least there's only the two of them this time, I think. Yeah. Oh, it's two. Oh boy. Oh, this is just a bad situation to be in. No thank you to you two. Aha! You can't do that to Fang. Oh, they dispelled us. That's rude. Oh man. No, don't cure Fang. Heal my days. Oh, this is going poorly. Come on, just cast Isuna on me. Thank you. Oh, you didn't get it off.
Give it your best shot.
Okay, can we kill this thing before something really bad happens? Up you go. And Fang is... Oh, Fang did not die. Fang died there, though. Up you go. Oh boy. See what I'm gonna do, Vanille? You're dazed, and I'm gonna cast Isuna on you. That way you get to do actions again. And that's an occasionally frustrating thing that the AI does in this game. And one of the reasons why they just can't be trusted. Because every once in a while they'll just do something that's just very, very unhelpful. Alright. Let's push the offense. Alright. Oh, that hurts so much. Get staggered, man. Nope. Ow. Okay. And only 3 stars. Hopefully we can get past this bridge of doom. I need to get to the next part of the game. For the stream! For all the people who want to see what happens when you decide, hey, maybe the gods aren't that cool. Otherworld bones. That's not helpful. Oh look, another this thing. And the exact same enemy that we fought earlier. What I was just complaining about should have been an original enemy. Only this time, because it's tied to story progression, it does kind of make sense that it's not. Although I think, once again, we're not actually forced to fight them.
Just keep sleeping.
Yep. No problem. I'm just gonna squeeze on by. I don't really feel like fighting you. So, away I go. The best way to deal with your problems in games where there's no real random encounters, just weave around the enemies. Don't face your problems, just run around them. If you don't get within a meter of them, they don't actually get to engage combat with you. It's true in both video games and life, by the way.
Looks like it's a dead end.
How about down there?
If the stories are right, it's a maze.
This place is a boot camp for Lassie. All kinds of challenges from Grand Pulse are waiting.
Challenges that we just run around, keeping a meter's birth so that we don't actually fight them.
Here if turning Seath sounds better.
I have had enough of this! Where's the way out?
Way out? Who said there was one? Bring it on.
I mean, you need a way out eventually,
My
Snow.
mind is made up. Maybe I will end up as Seath. But until that happens, I'm gonna make Sarah proud.
And Snow courageously decides to do what he was doing all along.
This tear meant goodbye. That's why I kept searching for it.
Oh, I hope that dog's not coming in through the microphone. A very loud dog moved in next door. He doesn't like the fact that other people exist. Or he does and wants to say hello very loudly. I haven't met the dog, so I don't know what his personality's like.
Oh, I get it. What this tear's been telling me is to not let our focus win. It's not the foul sea we should listen to.
It's our hearts.
and Reigns. Do you know why?
Because they told us to follow our hearts.
Focus doesn't matter. What matters to me is that we protect Cocoon. Whatever it takes.
Snow is like the walking pep talk machine. He's like the football coach given physical form. Oh yeah, speaking of sports metaphors, everyone put your hand in the middle.
I'm in.
Even the flying chocobo gets to be a part of the group. That doesn't count as you participating, Saz. Just so you know.
Come on. When a chocobo agrees, you know you're on the right path.
There you go. That's
Well,
right.
count me out.
What?
If you all want to go it on your own, then so will I.
Hey, hey, now. Hey.
Let Cocoon get what's coming. They hate us for being l'Cie. What's it to me if they die? Better that than watch a friend go seethe. If you don't have the nerve for it, I'll do it myself. Go on alone, get stronger, and smash Cocoon out of the sky! You turn seethe and there's no coming back! I'm not letting it end that way!
And neither is Bahamut. So, just as a reminder, these Eidolons come in whenever l'Cie start to, what's the word? Start to get desperate, start to lose hope, start to question what they're doing. They present you with a life or death situation so that you realize the life or death situation you're in that's a little bit less direct. So they directly say, fight me or die, as opposed to the more indirect, complete this focus, or if you don't do it fast enough.
That thing's here to help us?
Oh, Fang's about to explain it.
That's what Eidolons do. They help us. Eidolons are our salvation. If we can't decide what to do next, they come put us out of our misery!
Wait, so you haven't made up your mind yet?
Okay, so Fang's not quite explaining it.
What are you doing?
Protecting one of our own. We can do without their brand of mercy.
But yeah, they give you an explicit life of the situation to help you grasp with the more abstract one that you're put in as a result of being a l'Cie.
So please, fight with us.
Friendship! Powers, activate! You mean the exact same battle team I had, only this time Fang's in the lead? Fine with it. But you messed with my paradigm, so I'm not happy about that. I don't even have access to High Wind. Ooh! Alright, what do we got? Ow! Don't do that. Rude. And Combat Clinic it is. Oh gosh, Fang only has 3 of these because... And we lose. Oh, no, Fang didn't quite die there. Well, what do you know? We have Delta Attack? Yeah. Oh gosh. And... still not dead. Well, we're successfully blocking it. Not doing a whole lot else yet, though. Alright, you can do that. Then switch to Delta Attack, and it beats us all up a little bit. Hey, no weakness this time. Alright. Do we have Ruthless, Scouting Party? Oh gosh, I really need that. Oh, well, that's bad. Scouting Party! I need to slow you. Please! No, don't hit me. Ow, that hurts so much. Okay, you're slowed. And I'm not going to survive. Yep. Good show. Good show, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Back to the retry station. It's a good thing that this game exists post-skippable cutscenes. Because none of that would be fun if you had to actually
Just what are you?
do it all. Let's get that Aegisol. I don't need... do I need... Nah, I don't need Fortisol. And skipped. And skipped. Oh, come on. Skip all of them. I wouldn't want to skip just a little piece of it. Yeah, that sounds good. Alright. High-end strategies. Immediately debuff. Quick, slow him! Okay, good. Now we can curse him too. This is gonna hurt. Oh boy, that took a while for you to regenerate. Oh boy. Aha, that barely even hurt. Now we're doing it. Look at that, we've already almost mastered Gestalt Gauge. And it's been like half a minute. And then you can do that over there. Aw, the curse is supposed to stop that from happening that way. But it's fine. Because we have this. And that's the difference between using those shrouds and not using those shrouds. From losing without standing a chance to winning without facing a challenge. Also helped to have the two saboteurs paradigm. And now we have one of the best Eidolons in the game. And one that I might actually use. Yeah, it took 47 seconds. Awesome. And apparently got a gold trophy for that. That's a bit surprising, actually. Usually it requires a little bit more work to get gold trophies back in the PlayStation era. Hey look, plot convenient new path.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to call it a sign of me being right.
Nah.
Okay. Listen, keep our eyes on the goal and we'll figure something out.
A plan to eventually figure something out doesn't count as a plan, Snow. You actually need a way to find that thing out first.
So I guess being a lessee doesn't have to mean you can't do what's right, does it?
Present tense for Neil, talking to Sarah. I almost want to switch to Fang now, but Fang doesn't have High Wind yet, so it's no point.
It's time to face the peril of our plight. Sounds splendid.
Whatever it is the Fal'Cie want, we're the ones who decide what we do.
Theming! It doesn't matter what you've been told to do by the demigod that says do this or die. You alone get to say whether or not you do this. Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, hey!
And this marks the end of the first part of the game. Mostly.
An airship?
And it's from Grand Pulse. I guess it was one of this arc's weapons, or something.
That's a gate to Grand Pulse. Right.
So what? That's our exit? Pulse? Or bust?
This place that everyone says is a hellscape, and everyone should never go to.
Do you think it might take us to Eden?
I'm doing the flying. No more of these ships taking charge of our travel plan stuff. The only place this thing is taking us is where these boys tell it to.
Really? That is a Grand Pulse ship.
Really? Leave it to me.
It's funny because he's older than everyone else.
Might as well go. We get lucky.
Oh, look, Snow's brand has changed.
Get rid of these goofy tattoos.
Yeah.
It's actually really advanced now.
You never know. Maybe we just didn't think to look for one.
If nothing else, we know Cocoon's safe for the time being. I'd say it's worth going to take a look.
Maybe. But what about your dad?
I mean, there's nothing you can do about his dad.
I made him a promise. I promised him to keep going, and do what I had to. He said only I would know what that was. The world's full of lies. There's no way of knowing what's right. All we can do is believe in ourselves. It's easy to sit back and let people trick you. Like how the Sanctum had us all thinking that a lessee was some sort of monster. I'm done with their lies. Fal'Cie, this whole focus
I
thing.
guess this is just pep talk central here in the
Figuring out
halfway
how to
point.
use my eyes, think, and act. I might not make all the right choices, but as long as I'm the one who decided what to do, there's nothing to regret.
Theming.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. I'm with you. Bad choices and all.
Of course, I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. Pulse is hell, you know.
You don't
Where
know
is it
that.
now? How many times have you been there?
None. But I want to go and see what it's like for myself.
Okay, people.
In summary, don't listen to Ondor's lies.
So, everybody in?
Right.
Absolutely.
Final Fantasy games as a whole is about the government is lying to you, religion is a hoax, and a plucky band of people who had nothing to do with each other weeks prior can change the world. Every Final Fantasy game in a nutshell.
No one ever said the future'd be easy.
I'm pretty sure no one was thinking that either, Vanille. So now we enter the part of the game where the main characters decide that, you know, the main goal that they were on, the thing they were told to do and what they'd been working towards up until now, was actually kind of trash, and so they're gonna run away and do something completely different.
Glimmer of a dream, somewhere in the sky that night.
Which is part of them deciding, you know, we're gonna do what we want to do. We decide
The
our own
tiny
fate.
spark of hope that we could change our fate.
Hoping that you can change your fate. Those lines like that keep coming up.
Who could say? That moment's come and gone.
Alright. Right on time, we're entering Phase 2 of Final Fantasy XIII. What some people facetiously call the end of the tutorial is actually really the beginning of the end step of the game.
You did it!
Yeah, I told you, didn't I?
We're free! Oh, it turns out it's hell after all.
Playful little critter, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll play with someone else.
Happens all the time.
He thinks we're lunch.
Yeah, like on the seafood buffet.
Seafood, cute.
Guys, here it comes!
Yes, explaining the joke, Lightning. Well, we're off to a good start.
Fang! Get him!
I'm on it.
Oh sure, get Fang to get him. Oh yeah, because she has a flying Eidolon. That does make a lot more sense now. Snow's motorcycle, not really all that useful in this kind of context.
Here goes.
You can't just fall faster just because you say here goes. That's one thing that fiction really needs to work on.
Oh yeah, I'm great.
It's you like falling mechanics work in a very specific and literal way, and you don't get to just play with them because the plot demands it. If you wanted them to jump off the airship and ride behind it on the way down, maybe just do it in a way that doesn't require you to break the laws of physics. Just an advice. And it's not just Final Fantasy XIII that does it. That's almost any time in fiction people are falling from an airplane. The amount of control you have over your falling speed is minimal at best. Especially since terminal velocity doesn't really care about things like orientation. And now, we're in Grand Pulse. What's called by hell by industrialized cocoon is actually just
Vibrant and untamed.
nature.
Grand pulse.
I'm sure there's some capitalism metaphor there about how people in the city see the very act of being outside of a city as literal hell on earth. I don't think this is what the story is trying to tell. I think it's going more from the propaganda era of things.
Struggle for survival, and the callous and uncaring whim of the Fal'Cie.
And a way of showing how the Pulse Fal'Cie have actually ruined the place. And that's something I'm gonna go about when we're exploring Grand Pulse, is that there's a lot of the storytelling here is based on the setting. Because you can see like remnants of civilizations and cities here, though you never actually see any people here. And part of that is because as you navigate Pulse, is that the Fal'Cie down on Grand Pulse kind of ruined the place. It's not immediately clear that it's the Fal'Cie that ruined everything until you realize that all of the people are turned into Seath, because essentially what happened was the Fal'Cie just kept giving people focuses to do all the little things. And you get to see that because you get these side quests, which is basically issued by Seath stones. And in lore-wise, they're basically Seath who are so old that they basically lose the ability, they basically die as Seath, remain as a remnant, still remembering the focus they failed to accomplish, and sort of give that focus to you as you encounter them to say like, hey, we failed to get that focus, so maybe you should do it for me. But what happened was the Fal'Cie kept giving focuses to people for the most trivial of things, and so sometimes people would fail just because they were not equipped for the job, or they would disagree with the job they were given, and so they would turn into Seath. And eventually what happened was they destroyed the population so much that either it's hard to know exactly why everything fell apart, but either every person left on Grand Pulse was turned into a l'Cie and eventually either a Crystal or a Seath, or just the resulting collapse of society that happened as a result of too much of the population being conscripted into God service caused them to decline and basically die out. You don't actually get to hear any of this, you just get to see this from the environment and from what the subtext of the Seath stones. It's an example of the really good storytelling through setting that you get with these more sandboxy open world type games. Yeah, way to almost kill a baby chocobo, Hope. And so this game does a really good job of doing that. They learned a little bit about doing that from Final Fantasy XII, and so what you get in this part of the game is a very solid representation about how to do that right, about how to create a setting that tells the story for you so you don't necessarily have to do it through exposition or long explanations. And they just talked over Vineal's huge little rant about what Pulse is like, which mostly comes down to Pulse used to be a cool place, now it's not. And the full Latin phrase for it is terra incognita, which my Latin's a little rusty, but terra is earth and incognita, usually get incognito, so like undiscovered.
Have any luck? No sign of anyone else. But we did find plenty of bloodthirsty wildlife and crumbling ruins.
Long day?
Well, guys, we've run out of places to search around here.
So I'm going to not around here.
Where's Hope?
He's off with the chocobo, getting supplies. Hello.
Hey. You all by yourself?
Yeah, where's the little kid you're supposed to be with? Little kid that apparently these two grown adults just didn't feel the need to supervise. Almost forgetting that Hope is like literally 12, 13 years old.
We gotta find him.
Apparently Vineal can talk to chocobos. That's what I just learned here. Alright. This way. We're in the Yashash Massif. And one thing that happens here is that the music in Grand Pulse, really, really good. It's, especially since they're large plains, long fields, it's important that you have to get the music right, because you're gonna hear a lot of it on your way. We still got... Oh, that's exactly the... This is exactly not the party I want. Ah, they got rid of all of my... Alright. I should probably ditch aggression, honestly. Relentless Assault. Diversity. Combat Clinic. Dirty Fighting actually sounds good, but not today. Not Solidarity either. There we go. Ruthless? Sure. Wait, does that mean that Lightning is almost never a commando? Sure does. Oh boy. Maybe I should put aggression back up. Wait, Devastation. That'd be much more useful, actually. No, it won't be. Alright, let's do this. Ah, dang, missed the preemptive strike. Now we have to beat these things for real. Rude! Oh boy, did that hurt. I don't think I have Fire. Immune to wind, absorb fire. Absorb water. Ooh boy. We're already doing poorly. That hurts so much! Please stop that. Oh boy. We are not ready for these guys. Quick, save her. Okay, there's only 3 left. Oh, man, that hurts. They don't screw around when it comes to... Oh wow, almost died. They don't screw around when it comes to Grand Pulse. One thing that really happens here is that it turns into a lot more of a classic Final Fantasy of trying to explore the new area and not die. Because you do need to really be careful about which enemies you fight, which enemies you run from. Because there's a lot of monsters in Grand Pulse that are way higher than your level when you first come here. And I'm going to show you how to kill one cheese with a cheese strategy. You come from... yeah. Oh, I didn't even have blindside. Well, what do you know? Since I keep not doing the Crystarium because I'm like, oh, I'll get these levels later, but when you have 10,000 unused Crystarium points, it really is noticeable. Because that's a lot of just non-existent stats that we don't have. Like, look at all this strength that Fang just didn't have access to. What a difference that would have made. Not in getting below the target times, of course, but in just doing better. Oh, you get a better ATB level from your medic. I didn't realize that was already unlocked. Up we go. Oh, look at that. Where's that ATB? Oh, man. It's literally right there for you to be able to do more actions. Gosh. And so yeah, exploring Grand Pulse is actually really fun because there's such a wide variety of enemies to fight, and it's usually pretty obvious when something's out of your league, and when it's not, the side characters usually chime up with huh, that looks really dangerous, maybe we shouldn't fight it. And again, even then, it doesn't really matter, because if you try to fight it and it turns out to be way out of your league, you just hit the restart button, and now you know. Yeah, we're gonna need this. Oh, that hurts so much. Come on. You gotta do better than this, guys. Oh, they're immune to fire? That's just rude. They're also mostly immune to wind, Vanille. So maybe don't. There we go. Let's do in fights in the proper style. 5 stars. And a fortizol. Perfect. We don't need that. At least, we might need that. There's another Eidolon fight coming up. And hey, it's a big globby boy that I'm not going to fight. And so yeah, remember how I said that you're kind of ending the linear passageways? Apparently not right away. This very first map of Grand Pulse is a little bit exactly what you saw outside, and it's... But, I mean, you haven't actually... Actually, no, you already have seen the change of theme. So, like, this part is trying to railroad you a little bit towards you gotta save Hope, so it makes a little bit more sense to structure the map this way. But it's really disappointing that
Hope!
this freedom, the freedom that you get from the very next map happens a little bit later than I think it should to really match the development of the story with the gameplay at the same time. And so it really weakens the effect just a little bit with that, even this short delay. And even though I kind of understand why they do it, because they need to establish that the brand is still developing and here's the real risk of what they're doing, they didn't necessarily have to do it this way.
Just wait. Now, how long has it been since we left Cocoon? Not a single soul for miles around? Not a single clue about this whole sea mess? What I'm saying is, we did well just getting this far.
But we could go a little further.
Vanille has an idea.
There's still one place.
Vanille?
Oh.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You know, if we don't find anything this time, we won't get another chance.
Erba. The place it all began.
Hope.
The place where the Pulse Fal'Cie lay dreaming. Vanille and Fang's home. Just maybe, it'll be the place where we find the answers we're looking for.
You're right. If we can get there.
Go ahead without me.
We can't just leave you.
I'll be fine. You've all taught me so much. Showed me how to fight.
You just had a pep talk. It may have been a week ago story time, but it was 30 minutes ago game time.
I'm scared.
We understand. You're not gonna go through this ordeal alone, you know.
Oh, everyone's being so supportive. Remember at the beginning of the game when everyone was fighting each other and shouting at each other and lightning punched Snow in the face?
I don't want to see you get hurt because of me. It'd be better for everyone if I just stayed behind.
Nope. Hope doesn't have his Eidolon yet. And then Vanille gets hers, which we need for defeating them Adamantises. Hey, what up? Hope gets the best summon in the game, but you're never going to use him because his kit is actually really boring to play.
Mention ordeals, and look what comes along.
This is not an ordeal. This is a gift. Hope! This is the kind of power you've got inside.
Yeah,
I'm
Alexander.
telling you not to give up. Trust me.
Oh, I get it. It's here to show you the way. Show you that you've got what it takes to get back on your feet and do this thing.
There we go.
You mean that came from me?
Well, this is going to be tough because I have not been keeping hope up as far as the Crystarium is concerned.
Ready?
Forgot that he hadn't had his, that he didn't have this, Eidolon yet. And now we're gonna have to use him. If you have to retry, at least we get to, Driver, Thunder... Protect everyone. You don't have... Wait, why is Entourage the default one? This should be the default one. Hey, stop punching. It really hurts. We don't have diversity, do we? How do we get you up? Of course, mass chain bonuses. True for all of them. Okay. Come on. You're doing something, Alexander. And heal. Ooh, that hurts. Oh, too slow. It turns out I need to actually level up Hope to have a chance on this one. Retry. Have I succeeded in any of these Eidolon things without retrying? I don't think so, because I had to retry for Odin. And... well, not for Shiva, because Shiva's actually really easy. Hope's not even in my party. Luckily, they give you the menu before the boss fight. Really good bit of game design. For situations like this, specifically, where you don't level up Hope, then you have to deal with his Eidolon fight. There we go. 18,000 unused. What do we... ooh, an ATB levels to your Synergist. How close is it? Ooh, the end spells are here. Where's that ATB level? Am I gonna be able to reach it? Oh, it's all the way over there. No way. Okay. Medikit it is then. Perfect. Oh yeah, look how far behind that Ravager is. That's a huge difference. Didn't even have Blizzara. Which of these is really dumb? Never gonna use Solidarity, so... Ruthless! You know what, let's just go ahead and make that our starting one. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yeah, that's super hurt.
Give it your best shot.
Hup. Does this build just all gauge to detect? It looks like it does. Aha! Blocked. Okay. Why did you start with a ruin? You have no magic attack power. Alright, he's gonna do something that's really bad pretty soon. Yep. Hey, that's not fair. Don't juggle my friends. They need those... We need that HP for attacking you.
This'll be quick. Give it your best shot. Face it head on.
Alright, what else do you got? Just yields for chain bonuses, eh? Come on, we're getting there, guys. Actually, no. It's Entourage that we want. Oh, that hurts so much. We need to punch her. Just continue to punch her. That's going to build my Gestalt gauge up because she's blocking. Really, I'm not even getting the rest of them up. It's okay, we're about to win here. Oh, come on. There we go. Do it, Alexander. Turn into, you know, the shape that is more recognizable. Walking fortress. Emphasis on the fortress, less so on the walking. It's so good. Actually using Alexander in combat is really... It just feels really good. He just shoots laser beams all over the place. Oh, gained an ATB segment. Just in time for me to never use him again.
I tell you that.
Yeah. I always thought the Eidolons appeared to set us free through death. But now, I think maybe they're here to snap us out of our slumps.
Oh, like the one you were just in?
I'll ask for help earlier next time around.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help, Hope.
I told you. On Grand Pulse, we're all family. You can moan all you like, but you're stuck with us.
I mean, it's not like there's anywhere else to go.
Never alone in hell.
Listen, funny man, don't call this place hell, all right?
Yeah, Fang's had enough of those microaggressions.
So, we're all decided then.
Yep, we're gonna go to Fang and Vanille's birthplace. Not really sure why that wasn't the first thing on the docket, but as Fang
Maybe
interrupted
and maybe we'd hit a dead
Vanille when she was about to say so, there's obviously a reason. I can't personally remember what that reason is.
would take us.
But, yep, they've decided that
The search
in the
for
road
home
to try and
buried
solve the
in
Lassie
past,
problem, they're just gonna...
and the faintest glimmer of hope
Who's gonna go to Erba and see and hope it turns out.
had just begun.
And there's Vanille telling you you're basically starting the end game. Now, if I remember correctly, there's one more scene here in the Yashas Massif, and then it's off to the Arkilled Steppe. The greatest zone in Final Fantasy XIII. Oh, no, we're just right here in the Arkilled Steppe.
Let's go.
Talking about wide open spaces. Now, this is part of the reasons why the graphics in this game are really good, because when you look out into the horizon, you see some cool stuff.
This stone, it's...
Look familiar?
It's a Seath Stone, what I was talking about not that long ago.
Last stage.
A Seath.
Don't worry. It's no threat to anyone anymore. Lassie that fail their focus become Seath and wander the wilds. Eventually, they lose the will to go on and turn to stone.
Because that was established at the very beginning. Very subtly, Seath still have some amount of mentality.
Can't forget the task they once had.
And they call out to Lassie over and over. Complete my focus.
So they're doomed to eternal regret, huh? It's pretty horrible.
Well, hey, we should help this one out. I mean, come on, we can't just ignore it. Listen, if we fail our focus, it could be us suffering like that.
Wow, what a happy thought. That's not like you.
It was exactly like Snow,
Someone? That's snow all over.
as Lightning just pointed out. But yeah, I'm probably going to do some of these Seath Stones off camera. They're basically side quests that unlock here. Yeah, no way. Never using you again, Hope. Ah, I gotta do this again. But basically for the last time. At least. Mystic Tower. And we're done. And may we never ever have to do that again. Yeah, the side quests are just that, they're side quests, but the first 7 or so are useful for unlocking access to chocobos here. And chocobos are pretty good, so we will... What do we have to do? I know there's a scene with Vanille still to happen. There's the mission mark and the destination. So you can see, yeah, the Cocoon is labeled on the mini-map just to give you a sense of direction. And yeah, you just gotta go all the way across the Arkilled Steppe. If I remember correctly, there's a scene back in the Yashas Massif that we can unlock with Hope and Vanille. So we're gonna head towards that first off instead. And mostly because I can't quite show you how to do... Actually, can we even show you how to do things? Because I need to unlock a lot more of Vanille's Saboteur role in order to get the way to beat those Adamantises. Perlga, Pain and Fog, and the roll level. Yeah, I haven't even unlocked enough of the Crystarium to do that, so I need to move forward in either the main story or something else. I can't remember what unlocks it. But I can't imagine it's going back to the Ashas Massif here. Yeah, we're seeing the bit of the open worldness aspect of it all as we enter this new region. And those are clearly delineated map zones. In order to minimize loading times. Now, it will probably be labeled on the map if there is something here. Oh, well, this is Valles Medea. This is not the Ashas Massif. Well, that's the first step of your problems. Alright, no more wasting your time. Let's get moving. At least the loading screens here are not as bad as they are in Final Fantasy XV, which is one of Final Fantasy XV's biggest drawbacks, especially for the multiplayer expansion. It's the amount of time you spend looking at loading screens like this. Whereas here that was, 10 seconds of not playing, which is, ideal for taking a sip of water or taking a moment to relax. In Final Fantasy XV, it's like a solid 2 minutes every time you decide to go on any extended journey, and that's just no good. And there's the open skies of the Arkilled Steppe. There's a behemoth fighting the hounds, neither of which I want to fight, and it seems like they've settled their differences to try and attack me. Oh, wandering bands of wolves. Big Adamantis walking rounds. In case it was at all... In case there was any doubt that you're not in a completely new region, everything here just looks really dangerous. A lot of them are really dangerous. Like, even these two, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get through without a huge issue. Alright, I'm not too scared about poison, but they probably have that ability that makes you take more damage when you're poisoned. Oh boy. It lives. Kill it. There we go. Okay, so this one, because there was only 2, it wasn't that hard. But it was only because there were 2. Still didn't do it in the target time. Well, it did, but 3 stars does not count as doing it in the target time in my books. Ooh, a Rod of Thorns. Probably won't be better than the one I have for you. Ooh, Auto Faith, Auto Protect. Oh wait, no, that's not. That's from your other ones. What does this one give you? Huh. Doesn't really say. It might be the strength-based weapon, actually. Just in case you really, really want to build Vanille as a commando. And yeah, we can't cross here because we need the chocobo. And there's the adamantis in the distance. There's a bunch of sheep. Hello, sheep. How are you? Cannot fleece you for wool. But at least not getting murdered by wolves. So, it's not all bad. Oh, can't sneak up on this guy. Yeah, 360-degree vision so that you don't get a preemptive strike and just blow through the mission. Because there's a bonus to 5-starring the missions. Oh no. Ow. Wait, what? Employs powerful water. Oh, so it probably heals from water. Yes, it heals from water. Yeah, no more water for you. Oh, it's immune to physical, it looks like. Oh, you don't have any more debuff fangs. So you're just gonna stand around while we do this for a bit. Come on, Vanille. Poison, peril, poison! Oh, it's probably immune to deep protect as a result of being immune to physical. Ah, but this'll do it. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ow. Ow. But it's fine. Vanille doesn't be alive because we're about to win. There we go. Ah, only 4 stars. Mission complete. We're a good Samaritan because Snow told us to. And now the next mission opens up. It's an endless cycle.
Now here's a view you only get on Grand Pond.
I don't want to do that mission. It's going to be so hard. I actually do like the missions, especially some of the later missions. They are very, very difficult. Is that the baby adamantis? I think that's a baby adamantis. If I remember correctly, we can take the babies. Especially, I don't think you get preemptive strikes against these guys. Yep, that's the baby adamantis. Okay, we're off to bad stuff. Okay, no, we died. We're already dead.
No.
It turns out I didn't remember correctly. The baby adamantises still wreck ya. The time it took me to paradigm shift, we were basically dead. Okay, so no more of that. And those are the big adamantises, so you can imagine how much harder the big adamantises are. Plot twist, not really actually. Once you're strong enough to now that I remember it, once you're strong enough to beat the baby adamantises, these guys are not too far off. But yeah, look at that. Look how big and imposing those things are, and they just kind of wander around. If you ever initiate combat with them, they just... Oh boy, hello! Hello, person. I'm just gonna pass through. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Gosh, there's just so many threats. It's just nothing but things that will wreck you if you cross them. So what I'm gonna do is head towards, if I remember where it is, I'm gonna head towards the one, I think I know where it is, and it's sort of on the way. I'm gonna head towards the one little encampment that gives you some more background to the place. Hey, some goblins. These weird little guys. Aha! Who got the drop on you now? This is the weirdest design of goblin I've seen in basically any video games. They just don't have stomachs. Oh boy. Even with the stagger, it looks like we're not doing a lot of damage to them. Did I just die? Nope, but I almost did. And there's me dying. Another type of enemy that is beyond our ability to defeat. I mean, probably not like completely out of our realm. If we switch to a sentinel, we can probably survive, but boy, I'm definitely going to do those missions off camera for a little bit of, so that we have even the slightest bit of chance of going forward without getting stomped by everything in our path. Okay, so that's just the wrong way to the mission. So what are we going to do? We've been doing this for just over 90 minutes. So we're going to call this episode of Last Play Live to a close. I mean, the deep dive. This is the deep dive. Can we actually see Titan? Yeah. Here we are. So from this point on, we'll be exploring the Arkhild Steppe and other open world parts of Grand Pulse. The game has shifted gears as a result of the main characters basically deciding to leave the entire world where the previous part of the game came from, and are now just here. We're just here now. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, have a good night.